Today we will see what is the complex power in a circuit and procedure to determine whether a circuit element delivers or absorbs the real and reactive power. First, let us see what is the complex power. For the circuits operating in sinusoidal steady state condition, real and reactive power are conveniently calculated from the complex power. So, from the complex power, if you know, you can obtain these real and reactive power. So, P and Q conveniently obtained if you find out what is the complex power in a circuit. For that, let us assume the voltage across a circuit element is V bar at an angle, V bar equal to V at an angle delta, and the current into the element B, I bar, I phasor equal to I at an angle beta. So this is the these are the voltage across the element and current entering into the element. Now complex power S is the product of the voltage and the conjugate of the current. So we will consider the complex power as a product of the voltage and the complex conjugate of I, current I. So for that, here the voltage is given by V at an angle delta and complex conjugate. So it is a I at an angle beta. This we can write it as it is a complex conjugate I at an angle minus beta. So these two has to be multiplied. So if these two multiplied, as these are in polar form, you can get magnitudes has to be multiplied, V multiplied by I, and angles will be delta minus beta. So complex power equal to VI at an angle delta minus B. So it is in polar form. Now you can convert this into the rectangular form as a S equal to VI cos delta minus beta plus J VI sin delta minus beta. So this is the complex power in terms of the rectangular form, where delta minus B is the angle between the voltage and the current. Now you can write this as a in terms of real and reactive power as S equal to P plus JQ. So here VI, it is the apparent power. If you want to get real power, this apparent power has to be multiplied with the cosine of the angle between the voltage and the current. And if you want to get the real power, apparent power has to be multiplied with the sine of angle between the voltage and current. Then you will get P plus JQ. So this cos of delta minus B, it is called as a power factor. Now if you want to get the real power factor has to be multiplied with the VI, that is apparent power, and if you want to get the reactive power, VI multiplied by sine of angle between the voltage and the current. So in this manner you can get what is the complex power. These are for determining whether a circuit element absorbs or delivers the power. So here the circuit elements we will consider are load and generator. So consider the first case, we will consider load. For this load, we are assuming that current is entering into the positive terminal of the circuit element or positive terminal of the load. Now, if P is positive, then we can say that positive real power is absorbed by the element. If Q is a positive, then positive reactive power is absorbed by the element. If both P and Q are positive, if P and Q are positive, then positive real power and positive reactive power are absorbed. Now if P and Q are negative, if P and Q are negative, real power and reactive power are negative, then we can say that positive real power and positive reactive power delivered by the element. So these are the two conditions with respect to the load. So if the P is positive, then the positive real power is absorbed by the element. If the Q is a positive reactive power is absorbed by the element. If P is a negative, then the positive real power is delivered by the element, and if Q is a negative, then the positive reactive power is delivered by the element. So these are the four conditions. PQ is a positive and PQ is a negative. Now let us consider the generator convention. So here we are considering that current leaves the positive terminal of the circuit element. Now in this case, if P is positive, then positive real power is delivered, and if Q is a negative, then the positive reactive power is delivered by the element. So here two conditions, P and Q are positive, then positive real power and positive reactive power are delivered by the generator or element. And here, if in the reverse case, if a P and Q are negative, then positive real power and positive reactive power are absorbed. So these are the two conditions here. If the P and Q are positive, then real power and reactive power are delivered by the element, and if the P and Q are negative, then the positive real power and positive reactive power are absorbed by the generator. So these are the important. Now again, let us see if the let us consider one load for which the current entering into the positive terminal of the load. Then if the P is a positive, then real power is absorbed by the element. If the reactive power is a positive, then the reactive power is absorbed by the element. If P is a negative, then positive real power is delivered by the element. If Q is a negative, then the positive reactive power is delivered by the element. And in the second case, in the generator case, if the let us consider the generator and current is leaves the positive terminal of the generator, then at that condition, if the P is a positive, then the positive real power is delivered by the generator. Now if the P is a negative, then the positive real power is absorbed by the element. If Q is negative, then positive reactive power is absorbed by the element. So these are very, very important, and keep in mind. Let us take one example, real and reactive power, whether it is delivered or absorbed. So a single phase voltage source with V equal to 100 at an angle 130 degrees volts delivers a current of I equal to 10 at an angle 10 degrees, which leaves the positive terminal of the source. So leaves the positive terminal of the source, so that means it is a generator. Calculate the source real and reactive power and state whether the source delivers or absorbs each of these. So you have to find out what is the real and reactive power of the source, and you have to mention whether it delivers or absorbs powers. For that, since I leaves the positive terminal of the source, the generator convention is assumed, and the complex power we can write it as a S equal to VI complex conjugate. Now V is a 100 at an angle 130 degrees, and it is a 10 at an angle 10 degrees conjugate. Now we can write it as a 100 multiplied by 10, it is a 1000, and 130 degrees minus 10. So as it is a complex conjugate, then it will be 10 at an angle minus 10 degrees. Now 130 minus 10, then you will get 120 degrees. So if you want to convert into the rectangular form, then minus 500 plus J866. Now it is a real power and it is reactive power. Now P is a minus 500 and Q is a plus 866. So P is a negative and Q is a positive. So here we say that the source absorbs the 500 watts. So actually initially we have assumed that one generator and current leaves the positive terminal. Then if P is a positive, then positive real power will be delivered. Positive real power will be delivered. If P is a negative, positive real power will be observed. So kabatti here it is a minus 500. So 500 will be absorbed by the source, and as it is a positive 866, so it is a delivers by the source. So here 500 watts is absorbed by the source, and 866 watts will be delivered by the source. So this is the case where synchronous motor operates at a leading power factor. So here in this condition, it absorbs the real power and delivers the reactive power. So that's why this synchronous motor operates at a leading power factor at a no load condition, will delivers the reactive power, so that the power factor will be improved. So that's why we do use the synchronous motor operating at a leading power factor. At that condition, that synchronous motor will absorb the real power and delivers the reactive power. So this is used in most of the problems. So this is the example problem whether a particular circuit element delivers the real and reactive power, or circuit element delivers the absorbs the real and reactive power. So this is the case where we use source. So which leaves the positive terminal of the source. You can take it as a load for the same problem, then you can estimate what is the real and reactive power, and whether it is a delivers or absorbs these powers, then you can make it. Now let us see load convention for the RLC elements. So in most of the cases we will have the resistor, inductor and capacitor in the circuit. So for that the complex power absorbed by any of these three elements can be calculated. So assume that load voltage V at an angle delta, then the resistor SR, the complex power absorbed by resistor SR, it is given by again V multiplied by complex conjugate of the current IR. Now V, it is a V at an angle delta multiplied by IR. IR, it is a the voltage across the load, it is given by V at an angle delta and divided by resistance R. So this, for this you have to take the complex conjugate. For this, if you apply the complex conjugate, then it will becomes V at an angle minus del divided by R. So this is the complex power absorbed by the element. It is a V square by R. So V into V square magnitudes, and delta minus delta, it will be the 0 divided by R. Or you can write it as a V square by R at an angle 0 degrees, and we can write it as a V square by R at an angle 0 degrees, and ultimately you will get the true power only. So because cos of 0 degrees, it will be 1, then you will get V square by R plus 0. And now here the complex power will be P plus JQ. Now P equal to V square by R, and reactive power, it is a 0. So if we consider the resistor, so resistor absorbs this real power, and 0 reactive power is there. So reactive power absorbed or delivered by the resistor, it is a 0. So this is the case with respect to the resistor. Now if we consider the inductor, complex power, it is given by V multiplied by IL star, and V at an angle del. So it is a we have to take the complex conjugate of the current IL. So this IL, it is given by V by JXL. So this is the current in the inductor. So V by JXL. So for this we have to take V at an angle del, because we are assumed that voltage across the load, it is given by V at an angle del. So V at an angle del by JXL. So for this you have to take complex conjugate. So this will be V at an angle minus del divided by minus JXL. So plus J will becomes minus J. So it is a V by, so V by minus JXL, and it is a minus del. So you will get V multiplied by V, it is a V square divided by XL, and you can write it as a plus JXL. So you multiply and divide with plus J, then you will get, so this one plus J, and in the denominator minus J multiplied by, so plus J, so you look at minus into J square, so J square is the minus 1 into minus 1, you will get plus in the denominator, so you will get plus J multiplied by V square by XL. So here we can write in a complex form, it is a P plus JQ, P plus JQ. So here the real power absorbed by the inductor, it is a 0. So because you have only reactive component, but there is no real component in this complex power. So we can write, we can say that an inductor absorbs the zero real power, and it will absorb the positive reactive power, So it is a plus J V square by XL. So kabatti you can write it as you can say that, so it is a absorbs the positive reactive power. So it is a inductor. Now again let us see the capacitor. Complex power is given by V multiplied by IC star, V multiplied by delta, and you can write it as a V by J XC at an angle minus del, or you can say, we can write it as a V by minus JXC. Actually, it is given by V by minus JXC, and it is a complex conjugate. So V at an angle del. So for this complex conjugate will be V at an angle minus del, and minus JXC becomes plus JXC. Now we can write V multiplied by V square, and multiply and divide with plus J, then you will get minus J and V square by XC. So here also we can say the real power absorbed by the element, it is a 0, and you will have the reactive power only. So it is a minus J V square by XC. Now we can say from this, a capacitor absorbs the zero real power, and it will absorb the negative reactive power. So it will absorb the negative reactive power, or alternatively we can say that a capacitor delivers the positive reactive power. It will deliver the positive reactive power. So absorbing the negative reactor means, so it is delivering the positive reactive power. So these are the three important considerations which we have to consider in the circuit having the R, L, C components with respect to the real and reactive power absorption or delivery. So here let us see the summary. We have considered the RLC elements, and we considering the load convention for all the for RLC elements, and complex power absorbed by resistor R equal to V square by R. There is here we can say that real power absorbed by the element, it is a V square by R because it is a positive. So we can say that real power is absorbed by the element, and there is no reactive power. So the reactive power absorbed or delivered, it is a 0. So it is this resistor. And for the inductor, we can say plus J V square by XL. So positive real power is a 0. So there is no absorption or delivery by the inductor with respect to the real power. And here we have the positive reactive power. So we can say that inductor absorbs the positive reactive power. Now with respect to the capacitor, we can say that here also there is no real power. So it won't deliver or absorbs the real power. But here it has the minus J V square by XC. So here we got minus sign. Then we can say that load delivers the positive reactive power. So without any confusion, you can take any of the element, and you can say whether the particular circuit element delivers or absorbs the real and reactive power. Now let us see for a general load composed of RLC elements in a circuit. And S also can be calculated for this. The real power absorbed by the passive load is always positive. Real power absorbed by the passive load is always positive, and reactive power absorbed by the load may be either positive or negative. So this is depends upon the whether the circuit have the more inductive in nature or capacitive in nature. When the load is inductive, then the current lags the voltage, which means that beta is less than the del. So here we have VI at an angle delta minus beta. In that, beta is less than the delta. So that is we can say that delta greater than beta. Then at this condition, the reactive power absorbed is a positive. So when the load is inductive, the current lags the voltage, or which means that beta is less than the delta, or we can say delta greater than the B. At that condition, the reactive power absorbed, it is a positive. Now when the beta is greater than delta, so or we can say that delta is less than the beta, then the load is a capacitive and current leads the voltage. At that condition, reactive power absorbed is a negative, or we can say that the capacitive load delivers the positive reactive power. So this is a case where the circuit consisting of RLC elements.